Something scared you, is that right?
Yes.
What scared you?
The noise.
What noise?
The noise that we heard in the air.
You heard a noise in the
Yes.
air? What was it like? Like a roar or a buzz or a hum or what kind of a noise?
It was like someone was blowing a flute.
Yeah, TS, all it is now is just an orange glow. That's all I can see. Of course, the sun just coming up. Better not be. It's awful early. Awful early for the sun fever, Joe. I don't think the sun would just be in that one spot. I think it's moving out, you guys. Oh, we're watching. We moved up to a higher vantage point, so you tell us what it does. Well, listen. Sounds like it's revving up its engines. Can you hear it? I hope. It's sure cold out here. I hope you're taping this, you guys. Yes, we are. Sounds like to me a power plant diesel motor and a screeching noise in between it there with it. Okay, we're listening. 4:29 a.m. That's for the record.
Delta Sierra Juliet. It's not an aircraft. It's. Can you describe the aircraft? As it's flying past, it's a long shape. Cannot identify it. It has such speed. It's before me right now, Melbourne. How large would the object be? Seems like it's stationary. What it's doing right now is orbiting. The thing is just orbiting on top of me. It's also got a green light and a sort of metallic, like, it's shiny on the outside. It's just vanished. That strange aircraft's hovering on top of me again. It's hovering and it's not an aircraft.
How many people have heard the sound of a UFO? Now, I have a piece of tape which I believe is a UFO and was recorded over Aldershot in Hampshire on the night of the 20th of October 1978. It was an overcast night, complete cloud cover. The cloud level was about 1,500 feet. And the time was about 11 o'clock, and this noise started up all over the town, fairly large town, and people heard it all over the town. went on for about 20 minutes. Now, no, it wasn't possible to see if there was a craft above, but there's a very interesting postscript to this event. Okay, so what I'll do is play you a few minutes now of the sound that was recorded actually by a student. His father came and said, "What's that noise?" And he quickly popped a microphone out of his bedroom window. Now remember, this was many years before the modern car alarms, where these darn things keep going off and you hear them hooting away for maybe half an hour. This sound went high and low in frequency, speeded up and slowed down. So it wasn't a regular beat, and as I say, it was heard over many square miles. So there was speculation as to whether it was a UFO or not. The interesting thing was that about 2 years later, I was attending an international UFO conference in London, and I played this, such as I played this to you this morning. And after I'd finished my talk, two Mexican, at least they introduced themselves as Mexicans, came up and spoke to me, and they're very interesting what they had to say. One was Senor Eduardo Castro, and the other was Sergio Sanchez. They were attending the International UFO Conference in London. They'd stated that they'd heard a similar noise while scuba diving. This was in Mexico. They were at a depth of 30 meters in a lake called Lake El Chichica, and this noise came through the water. Now, you've heard stories or reports of UFOs coming up out of the sea and out of the water. Jorge Martin mentioned some cases yesterday around Puerto Rico. Now, it seems quite probable that these craft UFOs are independent or operating independent of our atmosphere, have no need to breathe our atmosphere, and so their craft are totally closed. It's quite possible and probable that if they want to stay out of sight, then what is simpler than hiding down at the bottom of the sea or hiding at the bottom of a lake? If they're capable of travelling through the atmosphere, then they could be just as easily capable of travelling at high speed underwater. In fact, we know that underwater ASDIC has picked up fast-moving craft of some kind in the sea.
As I'd gotten closer to it, I could hear the sound it was making, and at the point that I was, got up near this logging debris, these limbs and brush and stuff that was there, the thing suddenly started to make this sort of a revolving, sort of a rocking motion.
Huh. Interesting.
I mean, it didn't start spinning in the air. The same side stayed toward me, but it just made a sort of a rocking motion and raised up, and the sound, it suddenly had this real powerful increase in the volume to the sound. It just, seemed to vibrate my whole body. Huh. And that scared me so much that I didn't run back to the truck. I ran, or I jumped down behind the end of a log there,
okay,
just, for cover,
Yes, yes. Oh, goodness. So now was the vibration or the sound, other than making you realize, something's changing, this is getting scary, was it physically painful or uncomfortable?
No, it wasn't painful like that, but it was just so powerful. It was just, and it seemed to be, so many frequencies all mixed together. And
have you ever heard any sound remotely like that before or since?
Oh no, I mean, I could compare it to a lot of different things, but there was a sort of a mechanical, sort of a high, rapid spinning, sort of a scraping or turbine sort of a sound, but it was a whine, a high frequency whine thing with this extremely low rumbling sound.
You're
pulsing,
very observant, Travis.
A pulsing sound.
Good.
And it seemed like it might even go off the range of human hearing on both ends, because you know how that funny feeling in your ears when there's a sound that's too high or too low to really hear?
Yes. It
was like that.
Harry also received testimony from Butch Hunt, who claims to have seen a similar object in great detail, but from a different angle. You and how many other people were with you?
There were 5 of us in the car.
Uh-huh.
And we were coming from that direction, and we saw the ship come right over that hill. We stopped on the bridge.
This bridge, okay.
Got out, and by that time it was right over us and made sort of like a whooshing sound. Oh, maybe like a fan.
Butch said the object flooded the bridge with light. It appeared to be about 100 feet wide and was so close he could have hit it with a rock.
We were 6 miles at least away from the camp. We saw this light, and we said, oh boy, a truck's coming. Well, anyway, all of a sudden we realized this thing was up in the air, and we couldn't figure out what it was. And before we knew it, it was right above us, and it had kind of a blue-green light in it, and it made a sound, and I never heard that sound again until I heard the first jet engine shut down, kind of a low whining sound.